What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. We're at the new and improved Shipshewana show. I was going to record outside walking up, but high wind advisory today, like legit 50-mile-per-hour winds, and I don't think the audio would have been very good. So we are here in the show, first time 2-day show. This is Friday afternoon. It's still technically dealer setup, so it's pretty light in here right now. Because the public has not been yet let in quite yet. VIPs get in at 3. That's about 10 minutes from now. And then regular attendees come in at 4. But first impressions, this venue is fantastic. It looks amazing in here. The aisles are much wider than in the old building. And there is a ton of space in here. And they have a ton of space over there that they're not even using yet that they can expand into. Over there is where the trade night will be later. There is a trade zone over there for after show hours. So that will be going on tonight. But excited to dive in and check this out. I've actually already made one deal before I even turned the camera on. We'll talk about that later, but already picked up a really cool PC card. So we are off and running to start this show already. So more updates to come as always as we move throughout the day. I'm not sure if this will be 2 separate videos or one for Friday and Saturday. We will see how much we record today, but it is time to dig into some cases. All right, so a little behind the scenes here where trade night will be later this evening. You can see they got a lot of space here for trade night. So we'll see what this looks like once everyone gets in here after the show closes. The Ludex boys sponsoring trade night, putting on this big room. Plenty of places to sit. Tons of room in here. So we'll see how filled up this thing gets once the show wraps up. The show itself just opened up to the general public about 15-20 minutes ago for 4 p.m. And they are filtering in. The 3 to 4 was a VIP hour, and then now the show floor is officially opened. So we'll walk over this way real quick, and you can kind of get a better feel for the scope of things. We got Logan set up over there buying, Ryan Card Collector 2 set up there, Indie Card Exchanges down there, the TNT boys are over there, but really great size room. I think it's 400 plus tables now, up 125 or 150 tables from where it was. So main aisle here is pretty busy, but it's getting all the front end traffic because, like I said, doors just kind of opened up officially, and the rest of the show is starting to fill out a little bit as people filter in. But I don't expect a Friday night in Shipshewana to be jammed. I still think a bulk of the traffic will be in here tomorrow, but pretty decent crowd in here for a Friday afternoon in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. But yeah, filling in pretty good. Still a little light, but like I said, to be expected. So we'll update again. Still only one purchase so far. I've made one very, if you want to call it a lap, very haphazard lap of just kind of walking around, checking things out, kind of getting pulled in different directions and just going with the flow. Decent mix of inventory, as always at this show. Decent amount of Pokemon, not as much as I actually thought there would be, at least at a very first glance, but there is for sure some. A lot of modern, a little bit of vintage, not a ton. This show definitely skews more ultra modern than anything else, but all right, we will update again later on in the evening / afternoon. All right, it's about midway through Friday afternoon. Things have filled out quite nicely in here for a Friday afternoon. It's about almost 6 p.m. There's about 2 hours left in the show before trade night starts up. It's like the right mix right now of there's a lot of people walking around, but you could easily get up to showcases. The new wider aisles are very much appreciated. I've had a better grasp on inventory here now, and it's definitely is a really nice mix. There is more Pokemon than I initially thought that there was. Not a ton, like not like dominating the show or anything, but definitely more than what I thought there was on a first look. You can kind of see how waves go through the show. Like some sections are a little light, but you come down this row and it's pretty busy. But like I said, for a Friday afternoon, I actually didn't expect it to be this crowded. Very curious to see what trade night looks like tonight. The parking lot, I think, has more horses than cars. I will try to get some footage of that when I go to leave. But yeah, great show so far. I haven't really bought too much, but love this venue. Excited to see what this eventually turns into. Like I said, this only has using about half the building right now. That other half over there is completely empty. Well, trade night's over there in part of it, but lots of room to expand. Very fascinated to see what this show turns into over time. Get some grading companies to come, ComC, etc., as he continues to build this thing out. So, all right, back to walking around the show floor. All right, hopefully it's not too windy out. It is pretty windy, but hopefully it's not picking up on the mic too bad. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous Friday night here in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. Packed parking lot. Snuck out to go grab some food before trade night starts. And if you want to know how you're in Shipshewana, you share a parking lot with the horsies. What's up, boys? All right, we're getting ready. Trade night here at Shipshewana is about to open up. This is some of the stuff that I brought with me. It's a lot of baseball, and it's a lot of stuff from that recent PSA sub. Got a little bit of basketball in there, but all sorts of odds and ends of stuff. Bad time for Darius Garland as the Cavs are getting killed by the Celtics, literally as I am recording this. But a lot of this stuff from that recent PSA sub I brought with me to try to move. And like I do, I always put a price sticker on the back because it makes things way easier. I also have some raw stuff here, some Pokemon, some sports cards, all sorts of odds and ends of stuff. But you can see the line is gathering down that way with the masses getting ready to get let in. So I did make one additional pickup at trade, or not at trade night, but walking the show floor. Picked up a wrestling auto. So I guess I'll show that off real quick while we're waiting for trade night to open up. Got a Undertaker auto. Did not pay $400 for it. Immaculate, the set that I like. I already have the Kane Undertaker duel, so I picked up the solo. And then I picked up a Jose Ramirez Topps Dynasty. So the Golden Knight is more to try to sell stuff than anything else. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we're about an hour into trade night here. We'll walk around a little bit. I've been sitting for the first hour and have had a very successful trade night. I've sold probably close to $1,400 in cards so far tonight. I'll do a full recap when I get back to the room or in a follow-up video, but a lot of the baseball stuff that I brought with me moved. I had one really big deal right off the get with what I assume was a repacker. Bought a bunch of my stuff for like 90-ish%, pretty close to 90%. So I moved him about $600 or $700 worth of stuff. I sold a Jose Ramirez I'm a little heartbroken about. The Topps Finest orange refractor that I moved, that I picked up at Fanatics Fest, but I was into it for super cheap. So I have a ton of other Jose Ramirez stuff. I got a good price for it. I think I bought it for $100 and sold it for $300. So only had it for about 6 months, but sad to see that one go. But I have the gold refractor auto from Finest of him. But really great room for a trade night. Plenty of places to sit. Tons of people in here. It's actually thinned out a little bit. There's about a half hour, 45 minutes left in the evening, but great space for it. Overall, really good show so far. We've had a pretty good night. So we're going to hit the show for a little bit tomorrow morning and see what we could dig up. But I probably won't be in the show super long tomorrow. I did a lot of laps today, but now I got more cash in my pocket, so we'll see what kind of damage we can do. I bought 2 cards today, one wrestling auto and a Jose Ramirez, and I sold a Jose Ramirez. So, all right, might be another update after this. We'll see. I'll probably end up just doing this all in one video instead of splitting the 2 days up, but we'll see. All right, it is Shipshewana Show Day 2, Saturday morning. I don't know exactly what time it is. Probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Show floor's been fully open for about a half an hour, and it filled up very quickly. Usually that 9 to 11 hour is the peak of craziness at this show, and it has repeated again this year. The added space is filled up very fast. I'll give you guys a quick walk around here of the show floor. So this is the main front aisle with all the heavy hitters. Did a lot of selling last night at trade night. Actually sold some more stuff today. Sold a stack of raw Pokemon. Sold the Jackson Choreo Orange. Sold a bunch of stuff at trade night last night. So I think right now I have sold probably close to 2K plus in cards. About 1,500 last night and another 700 today, give or take. So from that perspective, the show has been great. Did buy a couple of things, still just the 2 cards, the Undertaker and the J-Ram. Couple takeaways walking around. Pricing, I actually thought seemed better at this show than what I'm used to seeing. Like, I saw Wemby Silver PSA 10s in showcases for $700 to $750, which seems very reasonable. You know, it's like one of those cards that you would expect people to still be trying to get the old comp on. And that seems like an appropriate sticker price to put on a Wemby Silver right now, given what current prices are. I mean, you're always going to have some of the stuff that's ridiculously overpriced. But for the most part, I just thought pricing felt better here. Baseball's been extremely hot, which makes sense. It's February. Spring training started. People started hitting home runs. Football, other than like case hit stuff, definitely seems a little slower. Pokemon is still extremely hot. The dealers that have it are pretty busy. A lot of stuff is moving. Mostly singles, not wax. It's kind of a weird thing with Pokemon at shows. Wax usually seems to not move super great, whereas singles do. But online, wax is king. So it's just kind of weird. I guess it's just the buyers walking around the show floor that kind of cater towards singles versus a more sealed environment. So here we are. This is all the way in the back row. And you can see this show's filled in very nicely today, considering the floor's only been open for about maybe half an hour to an hour. And even all the way in the back here, it is very full. But a little bit wider aisles. It's easy to walk around. You can get up to tables for the most part, but you can see there's a lot of people are buying. There's cases out. We got cash on the table. All sorts of craziness going on here. So this always was a really good show, and the upgrades to the new building are really, really nice. No complaints from me. Probably gonna do one more lap and then hit the road, so maybe we'll do one more update on the way out the door. But that's the Saturday morning scene here at Shipshewana. And the Midwest struck. It was 55, almost 60 degrees yesterday, and then this morning it is about 25 degrees, and we got a dusting of snow. So, gotta love it. All right, it's about 10:30 on Saturday morning, and it is definitely filled in here really nicely. The extra spaces for sure are paying off that this show expanded into, because it is jamming in here. It's hard to compare because of the room setup differences, but this feels way busier than previous ship shows, and that is really saying something, because the barn where it used to be would get super crazy, and this space is way bigger, and it is super crazy in here. Still way easier to get around in here than the old building, but they for sure got a hell of a turnout for this show. I am probably going to hit the road pretty quick here. I think I've seen everything that I need to see. Nothing super crazy jumped out at me other than the few things that I snagged. But as always, fantastic Shipshewana show. I did see one card that I almost doubled down on. Someone had the James Gandolfini auto, the fans of the game, that I recently picked up for $1,500 in a PSA 9.
Yeah, that one I found.
Which is basically what I paid for my raw.
It's a Noel out of 10.
And the only thing with that one is that the auto went off sticker a little bit. So I think it's a fair price, especially for PSA 9. Conditions on those can be rough, but the off sticker auto is not something that I want to necessarily deal with.
Oh yeah, I heard.
We've hit a traffic jam here in front of the CC2 booth. He's there doing deals like he does. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap my Shipshewana day. I'm going to hit the road out of here. But like I said, they got plenty of room to expand. They got a whole other half of the building if they want to. So shout out to Brad, who runs the show. He's right over there holding court. Shout out to Ludex for sponsoring trade night and doing their thing. But yeah, this place is packed. All right, I was just getting ready to walk out the door, and then I noticed they have a balcony here. So I snuck upstairs to give a little bird's eye view of what this show looks like. It's a little bit, I think it's around 10:30. And the show floor is just absolutely insane right now. It is filled in even more. It is actually a little tough to get around now in the aisles, but they hit an absolute home run with this show and this venue. And to be honest, I think you might need the additional, not all of it, but maybe just a little bit even more room for the aisles on Saturday, because it is crazy in here. You can see when we're up here, the other half of the building over there, which is empty. They used about half the space for this show, but I don't know if he has enough dealers to fill out the whole building. I'm sure maybe one day, but at minimum, it almost needs the extra room just to be able to get around a little bit easier in here. I don't know what it is about the beginning of the year. I don't know if it's tax return time, the post-Christmas thing, whatever. But February, March, April just always seem to be killer months for shows. And I know, having talked with Brad, that the February/March show is usually his best of the year. But it is crazy how busy this place is on a Saturday in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. Just outstanding job by them, Brad and his team all around, for what they've been able to grow this into in a location that shouldn't work at all. And once again, just looking around, standing up here looking around, you get the whole, the hobby's dead, the hobby's dying, it's all going to zero. Guilty is charged on some of that. But when you come to a show, the vibe and the energy really gives you a different perspective on what's going on out there. And people are spending. This is not just people are walking around and just looking at window shopping, if you will. Like, money is flowing. People are digging through boxes. Showcase cards are getting grabbed up. And like I said, I thought pricing was actually fairly decent at this show. As always, you're going to get the ones that aren't, but generally speaking, I thought pricing was pretty decent here. Finished up, I'm going to head out the door as soon as I'm done recording this. Finished up with just the 2 pickups. Came very close on picking up a second James Gandolfini auto. I just don't know. I would just be buying it to flip it, and I don't know that that's worth the hassle of doing it. I do love that card, but I already own a copy, and the auto on the one that I own is already nicer. The guy has a fair price on it. But yeah, fantastic show. 100% would. I mean, I always come to this show if I can, but if you're in the Midwest area and you can get out to this bad boy, fun times all around between the trade night and show day. So, final update. And I got to go get on the road. I got about a 4-hour drive home. It's Saturday. I should get home early afternoon. Got to get home, record the weekly sports card market update for Sunday, which you've all probably already seen. That's it. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below, and we will catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.